So NYPD Blue.
Yes.
Did you watch it when it was? You only watched it when it was over?
Yeah, I didn't like it when it was on. I'm like, who do they think they are with that handheld camera? And I'm fucking dizzy watching all the. I never like things when they're on. I don't know. I get mad or judgmental or. And then later, I'm like, what was all the hullabaloo about? And I turn it on.
And then you're like, oh my God, this is actually quite good. Is that what happened with Mad Men? Or Breaking Bad or whatever?
I never watched Breaking Bad. Mad Men I couldn't watch initially because the misogyny was so overpowering. I had to not watch it. But then, and this is what I'll talk about in terms of moments and stuff like that. Watching CJ Craig's character, watching Allison Janney's character, CJ Craig on West Wing, and watching Elizabeth Moss's character, Peggy Olson on Mad Men. And I even did this with Jessica Fletcher on Murder, She Wrote. I learned from these ladies. I watched these ladies be in these professional situations and maintain their dignity and confidence and struggle with their leadership. And I watched, for example, with Murder, She Wrote, and I wrote all this stuff down in a show that I did once, but I watched, Angela Lansbury in her high-waisted jeans and her nice jacket. And she would say stuff. She was always very pointed, so Roger, I think that you were at the boathouse at 10 o'clock.
Right.
And he would say something back to her and she'd say, you know what? Let me think about that. And she'd walk away.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to buy yourself some time right now by telling him you're going to think about it? You don't have to feel like you have to please him right now by telling him what he wants to hear.
Yeah.
So
that's huge.
It was huge. I'm like, oh my God. And then I would watch the CJ Craig character in West Wing goes from being a press secretary to the chief of staff. She winds up losing a lot of the thing that made her fun, not the actress, but the character,
right,
because she has so much responsibility.
Right.
But she does have to step into this role that is much more difficult because she's around these five guys all day. And then even watching the Peggy Olson character in Mad Men, whenever she has to, she started as a ponytailed,
cutie McCute assistant kid, right?
Yeah, she was manning some guy's desk, and she winds up becoming a copywriter in a time when no women were doing that. And so every time she has to do something hard, there's always a moment where she's breathing in and kind of taking inventory of who she is, and then she does the hard thing.
She girds her loins and then jumps into it.
Yes. And so you watch all these women do the hard thing.
Yeah.
And what the ramifications of that are and how there's a conflict about it and they do it anyhow.
Yep.
And what happens on the B side of that. Stuff like
it's
that.
It's sort of a great example of how representation matters. And because the thing is we were all raised by people who were doing those things. Like we never got to witness our moms and our dads making the hard decisions and then doing the thing.
We just
because
got
we
hit.
were children. Well, yeah. They by the time they got home, they were just ready to take it out on us.
Exactly.
But they did make those decisions and they did have to stand up for themselves and stuff like that. And I'm sure we were all, people are encouraged to do these things when they're children, but to see it acted out, that's the beautiful thing about theater and television and acting and art.